We are finally getting on the plane for our journey. Walkway to Paris. The plane to Paris. Walkway to Paris. Paris.
Oui, oui.
Shay. Y'all look how far she is away from me. So far. She chose to be right there.
Hey world, how y'all doing? It's your girl Shabron. I know a lot of you guys probably wondering why we're sitting here with our window wide open. Well, first of all, we're in Magdeburg, Germany, and Germany is known for their landscape or whatever, and they have great weather. It's completely different than how it is back at home in Florida, where it's always hot. But anyway, apparently in Germany, when it's cold outside, as you can see in the big jacket, when it's cold outside, the air conditioners don't work in the hotel room. I guess it's kind of smart, but it's dumb at the same time because we may not want to have the window open all the time. Do you hear the sound of those birds? Come here, listen. We hear that all night long. Okay? So we be afraid to sleep with our window open. You know, possums, raccoons, birds can fly up in here while we sleep.
Let us show you beautiful Germany. We're in Magdeburg, Germany. Ooh, y'all, excuse me. But this is the view outside of our room. Let me get a little close up for y'all. Yeah. So this is the view.
It rained today, so it's a little dark out. Normally, it doesn't really get dark here like it does back at home in the States.
Yeah, it doesn't get dark until 9 p.m. over here.
Like later than that, like 11 p.m. and it's still not really dark.
Like it's never pitch black outside.
Yeah. We're still on a different time zone than here because we be up to like 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, like we're 6 hours ahead over here.
So if it's 6 o'clock here, it's 12 o'clock back at home in Florida. So we're still trying to adjust to the time. We've been here now for a whole week. Today make one full week that we've been here. We have a whole nother week to go. So we just wanted to share some experiences with you guys to talk about, you know, our experiences so far. So as you guys can see here, we have a whole bunch of snacks here on our table. We've been having a bit of a hard time with the food here.
Yeah, but that's a story for later. Yeah, for later. But we want to show you our room first, our room. So the reason why, as Shabron explained, we have our window open because apparently here in Europe, when it's cold outside, the AC will not turn on inside to a certain degree. Just as if it's hot outside, the heater will not turn on inside. And boy, that blew our mind away. So it's been a bit of adjustment in many areas being here in Magdeburg. This is our first international trip and it's a hell of an experience. There's times where we wanted to break down and cry, y'all. It's been that serious. But we're going to be here for 2 weeks. Today makes it a week. So we bought some groceries and everything is in German. Lord, girl, please do not fall out that window. But we went and bought some snacks and drinks and water. And the water, y'all, let me tell y'all. Okay, so here's our room, everyone. This is our room. I really don't like the setup here for 2 weeks. It's not really comfortable like what we can get back home. But here's the bathroom. Nothing too fancy. I'm not gonna show our beds because our beds look a mess right now.
But they're twin size beds.
Yeah, they're like tiny ass beds, but they've been comfortable. Let me tell you, they've been comfortable, y'all. We've been knocked out. But okay, so as I was previously saying, we went grocery shopping because that seemed to be the best way to get a good meal here or to enjoy our meal because the food is very cultured, I shall say. It's very
different.
cultured. Yeah, it's different. So we're in this room and everything is small. Like here, we have to make everything fit in this tiny refrigerator. I'm not going to open it because it's fully stocked. And when I open it, things fall out. Everything on TV is in German. I would turn on so y'all can hear it. Let me see. Y'all give me a minute. Yeah, so we have German television. There's very little English here. Very little.
Oh, and let's talk about the water.
Yeah, back to the water.
So we've had some experiences so far with the water. You never know, like, how much you'll miss something till you can't have it. So we've been trying to get some water, like just plain basic drinking water since we've been here, and we have had no luck.
Yeah, it has been a challenge. They have mostly mineral water here.
Yes, mineral water. So we went to the grocery store a couple days ago to get water and some other foods, and we bought this water. We bought 4 bottles of this water, only to find out that it's not regular drinking water.
Yeah, so it tastes caffeinated when you drink it.
Yeah, it has bubbles in it. So maybe it's good for a good belch if you're looking for something, or if you have gas or something like that. But if you just want to have just a regular glass of water, it's a no-go. And we were told that the faucet water here is really good. And I'm not going to lie, that water in the bathroom is very, very cold.
Yeah, it gets very cold and very hot.
We don't get down like that. We don't drink water at home. So
At the
we're
faucet.
not going to come all the way to Germany to drink
Water at the faucet, yeah.
Yeah, so what we've been doing is we get ice from the hotel and we let it melt. And we've been drinking the water from the ice.
However, I was told that's not the healthiest way to go. But that's what we've been doing. Being that we have a little fridge, we've made like a little cooler here with ice. And it's been working for us. We fill one of these buckets with ice. So we'll get 2 buckets of ice. One with ice water. And another one with just for ice as in a little cooler to keep our drinks cool. Mm-hmm. So it's been an adjustment here. That's the best way I can put it. It's been an adjustment.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Siobhan.
Hey, it's Ashley. We're in Germany, bitch.
Matterberg, Germany, and that.
Yes. Not knowing a spick of German. A spickly spit.
So we wanted to talk to you guys about our experiences thus far. We have so many stories to tell you guys.
Yes. How we got here. The food. The language barrier.
The people.
Yes. Right.
So Ashley, would you like to start us off? Go ahead.
Okay, so first with getting here, we had to get on and off 3 planes. And besides getting on and off the 3 planes, when we got here, it took us an hour and a half to actually get to our hotel, which we had to get on 2 trains.
3 trains.
No, 2 trains and a tram, right?
Yeah, 2 trains and 3 stops. Sorry.
Yeah, so it was basically 3 transportation routes we had to take.
Yeah.
So after being on the plane overnight. Mm-hmm. So first to start off, the whole plane thing. We were supposed to have a layover in New York and also a layover in Paris. There was no layover. We had a break in between No, there was no break, no layover.
Literally, as soon as we got off one plane, we had to start boarding the next one.
Yes. So it was very like rush, rush, rush. We had to get there. And it even got to a point where we almost missed our flight in Paris.
Yeah. And the people in Paris were so rude. You know, New York as well. What airline? With JFK in
yeah,
New
so
York?
I'm used to New York. Siobhan,
Not me.
That
Never
was
wanted
her
to go.
first experience in New York, and she did not enjoy
I didn't appreciate it at all, and I was to the point where, you know, I didn't want to be the cause of us not boarding our plane because I was already exhausted. I was tired. We were hungry because we hadn't eaten anything that morning. We was up from early that morning. Our flight was supposed to depart a little afternoon, and we didn't eat any breakfast because we thinking, okay, well, when we get to the airport, we can grab a bite to eat, and that didn't work out.
So let's talk about these COVID restrictions with the plane in itself. So that was our issue when we got to New York. I only had a rapid test. Shabron went the right way, and she had the PCR and the rapid test. Right. But the reason I didn't get the PCR test is because for Germany, your results have to be within the 48 hours of your flight. Right. It take up to 72 hours for the PCR test to come back. Right. But however, I should have still got the PCR test because instead of us going to Amsterdam, we couldn't go to Amsterdam anymore because apparently everyone's laws is different. With these COVID restrictions. So for Germany and Paris, a rapid test is acceptable to enter their country. But for places like Amsterdam, you need the PCR test, which is the molecular test.
Molecular.
Yes, that word. But but anyways, it ended up working out, even though it kind of set us back because we had to change flights.
Yeah. Oh, and our luggage kind of got lost for a little minute.
Yes.
When we first arrived to Germany, we couldn't find our luggage because apparently they still send our luggage to Amsterdam, which is where we were supposed to go originally. Well, we ended up not going because of the whole PCR test fiasco.
Yeah. So it sounds confusing, but either way, we left from Fort Lauderdale to New York. From New York, we were supposed to go to Amsterdam. But because of the COVID test, me not having a PCR test, they had to change our flight to go to Paris because Paris accepts the rapid test.
Right.
And they were supposed to bring our luggage along with us, but they did not. Our luggage went to Amsterdam without us, then went to Germany.
Right.
So then we got to Germany. We did not see our bags, which I wasn't surprised by. I've heard of people losing their bags while traveling before. But I was like, either way, our bag should still land in Germany, and it did, praise God. So when it came to the transportation, OMG. So everything was in German. So Shabron basically was a lifesaver for that because from the Berdenberg, I believe that's how you pronounce it, the Berdenberg airport in Germany, we had to go, it was an hour and 30 minutes to make it to Maddenberg, Germany, to our hotel, which is where we had to take the 3 different stops we had to go in order to even make it to our hotel room.
So we had to get on trains, we had to get on a tram, and we had to get on a bus. So, and mind you, literally everything is in German.
Yes.
No one spoke to us. The people weren't very friendly at all. It's like they kind of take it some kind of like they take it a little offensive that we don't speak the language, but we're just tourists, you know.
And it took us some time to realize that they weren't fond of us or friendly because we were speaking English. We didn't speak German. So apparently, from what I've learned being here so far, is that they appreciate it more if we at least attempt to speak their language, which is
even if we jack up their words or their names, which we have been doing. But we have been definitely been making more of an effort. Like we learned how to say good morning and good afternoon and good night.
Yes.
And thank you and please. Yeah. So we've been making a bit of effort, but it is very hard. It is definitely a huge language barrier.
Yeah, like over here, what time is it? It's like 9 o'clock over here around that time, so it's nighttime over here.
Yeah.
But the sun is not out, but it's still light outside. Versus back home, it would be dark.
Right.
So over here, I guess now at this time you would say Guten Nacht for a good night. So that's what you would say for this time of day.
Yeah, and good morning is Guten Morgen.
Yes, Guten Morgen.
So yeah, and thank you is
Danke.
Danke.
Yes. But we know like one or two words or whatever. We don't know a whole sentence yet.
No.
So yeah, so we go somewhere and it's been a burden. Like when we go get food, it's been very frustrating because we have to point at things that we want.
You're right.
Yeah, so even if we ask someone if they speak English and they say they do speak English, their English isn't fluent enough. So our order still seems to get messed up some type of way.
Right, definitely. So we haven't, well, today was the very first day we had a really good meal.
Yeah, out of the first week that we've been here.
The whole entire week we've been here. And I'm talking about breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, so to start off with the food. At our hotel, breakfast is included. But they have things like yogurt, fruits, mixed fruits, pineapples, watermelon, which the pineapples are really good. That is Shabron's favorite. It is nice and juicy. They have croissants and different type of rolls. They had bacon.
Yeah, pork, bacon, different kind of meat and cheese like salami.
Oh yeah, definitely
and stuff
cheese.
like that. But see, Ashley is vegan, and I am. I don't eat pork at all, and I'm really I rarely eat beef. So we feel very
It's been
limited.
a hell of an experience.
Yeah, it's very limited for the breakfast
due to our eating restrictions.
Yeah. So the breakfast has been very limited, where we're only eating croissants, yogurt, and fruit every morning.
Yeah, that's the only thing that we really
juice.
enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we really enjoy is the fruit, the croissant, and the yogurt
That is
for breakfast.
And it's the same thing every morning. There's no surprises.
See, to me, I really thought that because breakfast was included, that was going to be our most enjoyable meal.
Right.
You know, but that is not the case. We had a wrap here. We had a wrap. It was like I had a vegan wrap. So it was a meat substitute with different veggies. And that was pretty good, except I didn't too much like the meat substitute. After that, we went to this place called Botanica, kind of like a botanical garden.
Yeah.
They have a lot of vegan and vegetarian options. And there is a lot of that here. If your eating is like within the vegan spectrum, pescatarian, vegetarian, any kind of restriction you have in your eating habit, this place will fit you because they have a lot of options when it comes to food in that area and plant-based.
Right. But even with that being said, the food still tastes very different. Like I just told you, Ashley's vegan, and she still really didn't enjoy the vegan meals.
It's not that.
It's not the seasoning.
Yeah, it's not the lack of seasoning.
It's just they prepare it completely different. It may be a different kind of sauce that they use that we don't use, or they use like beets and soybeans and things like that. Like a lot of things like that we really don't tend to eat back at home. But it was an experience, so we're grateful for that. But today we ate at this Asian restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Yeah, that was the first, and it was a hot meal.
A hot meal.
Yeah. I believe that was our first hot meal. Even when we went to Botanica, we had a burger. We had a strawberry burger with potatoes on the side.
Yeah, potato wedges.
Yeah. That would have been a good meal, but they put too much of white sauce. It was a white sauce.
Yeah.
And if I can, I will attempt to put a image of our meal that we had at Botanica. But the meal could have been great, I believe, but it was just too much of the white sauce, and the food really wasn't.
It wasn't hot. It was more warm.
Yeah, it was warm.
Like I'm not sure if it had been sitting there or if they pre-made it. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't hot.
But here it is a nice environment here. It's never loud. The landscape, the scenery, it's beautiful here.
Definitely. You don't see no like pollution or polluting of any kind. Everyone is pretty much respectful and stay to themselves. They have a nice park where you can go out there and sit on the lawn.
And their
and eat
gelatos
lunch.
are amazing. Like almost on every corner, we see like a gelato spot.
Gelato or ice cream.
Yes, and it is amazing.
Yeah. So chocolates and ice cream or gelato is really big here. They love sweets in Germany. So everywhere you go, you can bet you'll get a piece of chocolate or you could get some ice cream or gelato. Now the food, because of the COVID-19 situation, a lot of restaurants are closed.
Yes, that has been a big
we're
thing.
not able to sit at and dine at the restaurant.
So anywhere you go, if you want to go, I wanted to go inside a shoe store, for example, at the mall. If you want to go to a restaurant and sit down and eat, and some of them, even if you don't want to sit down and eat, you must have a PCR test in order to even go into their establishment.
Yeah.
And if you want to go inside one of the stores, the outlets, the malls, if you want to go inside a particular store,
you have to sign in.
Yes, you have to sign in. So it was all in German. So I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But I had to write my name, my address, phone number. Yeah, so it was a bit much. Yeah, it was a bit much.
Very
because we're not used to it back at home. We're not used to signing in order to go somewhere if we want to shop or eat.
Yeah, because I think back at home, I think COVID was a lot worse there than it is here. And, we haven't had those kind of, we didn't have to go through those kind of things where you have to sign in or you can't go inside a restaurant and eat. I mean, if that's the case, just close the restaurant to me.
Yeah, but I'm still not surprised because coming here, we did know that they were a lot limited here more than back home.
Right.
They had a lot more restrictions here.
Yeah.
So as far as, I wouldn't suggest traveling internationally, especially during COVID.
Right.
It is such a headache. And plus, most of these countries will not let you in unless you have documentation.
Test.
Yes, PCR and
or
documentation.
You have to have a good reason why you're traveling.
Why? Yeah, right now.
So you might want to check that out before you even book a flight. And if you do book a flight and it's a very expensive flight, I would highly recommend that you get some type of like insurance or coverage on that ticket, just in case you have to reschedule your flight.
Yes. And then when it comes to the people, when you're traveling internationally, I would say do your homework. And we did our homework, but not when it came to the language. We did our homework when it came to like clothing and the fashion here.
Yeah.
And as far as things to do, somewhat. But as far as, we didn't know it was going to be such a hard time to communicate effectively with people here.
Right.
And they're not friendly either. And they're not ashamed to show that they're not friendly, especially if you don't know their language.
Yeah.
So it's like they look at you like, oh, you're here in Germany and you don't know the language.
You don't speak the language?
Yeah, exactly. So you're better off trying than not at all.
Yeah, definitely. And like she said, do your homework. Make sure that you're up to date with the whole COVID restriction, because that definitely almost
wherever
set us
you're
back.
traveling to, if you have connecting flights, it is very important that you look up each stop that you're going to, look up their requirements.
Yeah, because we thought we wasn't going to, we were going to Amsterdam, but that wasn't our destination. Right. We literally just getting off one plane to the next.
We were passing
so
through.
We thought that it really didn't matter
that the rapid test
about
was
the rapid test, but boy, we were wrong.
Yeah, we were wrong.
So
but it still ended up being a breeze. When we got to Paris, they took their time actually going through security and checking our luggage and everything.
We almost missed our flight.
And many other passengers that was along with us almost missed their flight. It was I don't even know how to explain it. It was just very frustrating. But I'm glad that we made it here safely. It's been a week. As far as things to do, because of COVID, we're very limited. We've been looking at the beautiful landscapes nearby and some of the must-see places, such as we went to go see the cathedral, the oldest cathedral in the country, which is not far from us, walking distance at all.
Right. And it's beautiful. Like, we didn't get a chance to go on the inside yet, but like just the outside of it is very beautiful. You could tell that it's very old. And they even have like the statues, you know, around it. It made me think of my childhood cartoon show Gargoyles, but that's another story. But it's really old and it looks very historic. It's very big. And there's some other things that we want to check out, but we didn't have an opportunity to do it yet.
Yes, but we have more coming. So we will share that with you on the rest of our trip. We will share that with you.
Definitely.
We just wanted to let you all get some insight about our week being here in Germany, our first international trip. Yeah, we've been to the islands, but to actually be in another country,
yeah,
it is very exciting. It's exciting, and it's also a bit, I don't know, it's an experience. That's the best way I can explain it. I mean, yeah, that's the best way I can explain it, y'all. If you have any questions, just hit us up. Hit us up. My Instagram is sassyash_09.
And my Instagram is unapologetic_29. So make sure you guys follow us, and we hope to hear from you guys soon.
Look, Shabron.
Here the mga hot dogs.